Have you thought about the idea of, let's say I'm coming to your open house, but you already have your 15-minute, 10-minute video montage that you did.
Hmm.
And I come to the open house and I'm like, you're like, hey, welcome to the open house. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 I got a realtor. And I give you all the back off language. But then you say, hey, no worries. Tell you what, either take my card and click on the QRL, or let me shoot you a quick email with a video on this house. Because if you're going to go look at other stuff, I want you to be able to remember this house in more detail. And the
Hmm.
idea of again being like, hey, here's 10 minutes on this particular house, that if they don't have an agent, you got all your stuff in there, and maybe they reach back out to you because of that. Have you tried that idea before?
Yeah, variations of that.
Okay.
It's less about when people come in and say, I've already got an agent, or because I don't really, when people come into the open house, I think when they go into most open houses, it is like, hey, how are you? Please sign in, this sort of thing, and they kind of get bombarded at the door, and it's
Right.
those folks kind of go into defense mode right out of the gate. And so my goal when people come into the open house is to be, is to just kind of be a wallflower to a certain degree. Like they'll come in, hey, how are you guys? My name's Ernie. Sometimes they'll, they might say, oh, I'm Jim and this is Sarah. Nice to meet you, Jim and Sarah. Hey, show yourselves around. I'm here if you have any questions, and let me know what you think. And so it's very, I want to be as approachable as possible when people walk in. So I don't do much of anything other than a quick intro when they come in the house.
Okay.
I've kind of found, I can circle back to the video part, but for me, the secret sauce was always, they're going to tool around the downstairs, they're going to make their way upstairs. It depends on how busy the open house is, but I will usually then, make my way upstairs, and then and I never even realized I was really doing this, but I am kind of cornering them, not on purpose, and it
Right.
doesn't
Right.
feel like I'm cornering them, but I do kind of have their full attention when they're upstairs, and that's when I kind of re-engage, and it's always just, hey, what do you guys think of the house? And then they'll kind of give me a breakdown, and then the other piece to it is, I always have a strong sense of what else is sold in the neighborhood wherever I'm at, and what else is on the market at that moment in time, and so well, did you guys make it through 123 Main Street as well? Oh no, we're going to that one next. Well, that one, blah, blah, blah. And now we're having like a legitimate conversation where I'm offering value to the conversation. They can see, I'm just trying to build value in myself. And that's usually where, again, the sign-in sheet, it's still downstairs, but that's usually where, if I've got, if I know of some new construction in the neighborhood, or maybe the video, that's where I usually whip the phone out and just say, hey, well, why don't I send you this real quick? Or why don't I do this? And then I've already showed them my value. And now they're going to much more naturally give me an email or a phone number or whatever it is for the follow up.
When, as you've gone along in your career, and did you get more selective on your open houses that you would do? Did you find that there were some, did you find Saturday or Sunday was a better day? Was there some things that you kind of started noticing after the repetition and the number that you were doing, of like, these were some pluses that I took from this?
I noticed it right away because I was willing to do any open house anywhere in the very, very beginning. And then I stopped that very, very quickly, because what I realized was, if you could do, and this can be tough to do, but if you could have, like, let's just say there's we'll say Lakeside, for example, if your brokerage has, because obviously I wasn't holding any of my own listings open because I had no listings. But if we had, I would try to hold the same houses open weekend after weekend. And if I could, the best thing to do was to hold houses within the same general area, and best case scenario in the same neighborhood weekend after weekend, because people who are looking over there would then see me over and over and over again. So rather than
Yeah.
going to Hanover County, on Saturday, Chesterfield on Sunday, and then next Saturday I'm in Richmond or whatever, I tried to get much more selective, and I tried to be generally in the same area as much as possible so I could see those same people over and over again. They'd be like,
Smart.
oh, this guy's obviously an authority on this neighborhood.
Right, right.
So
I mean, after like 3 or 4 open houses there, you're like, yeah, absolutely. So it makes perfect sense.